Hi, and welcome back to Christmas Workshop. On this episode, I am going to show you how to make a handprint canvas that you could give someone as a Christmas gift. This is my daughter's hand. My daughter is actually an adult, but her hands are a lot smaller than mine, so I used hers. But you're gonna look in your bag and there is just going to be a piece of little canvas that looks like this. And that's all the stuff that I have given you in this bag, but you need some other things. So there are other things you need to gather to do this activity. So you need your canvas board. You definitely need a piece of scrap paper because you need to practice this before you put it on the canvas. You will need a pencil, and you will need some crayons or oil pastels. When I had my daughter Sarah do this, she actually used oil pastels. But you can use crayons. Crayons will work great. And you will need some watercolors. So there are a couple of different things that you need, and obviously a brush and water and things like that. But the most important part that you should start with is practicing tracing your hand, because I think that that's something that a lot of people just in general have a hard time doing. What people like to do is they want to angle in when they trace their hand, and it ends up, let's see what happens here. If you angle in, you end up with funny shaped fingers, or it just doesn't look, see, can you see my fingers on this? I don't know if you can see that with the video or not, but it turns out my fingers look like claws in this, and you may not be able to see that. What you really want to do when you are tracing your hand is hold your hand. You'll put it, well, first you're going to do it on the paper. You're going to put it on the paper, and you need to hold your pencil straight up and down like this the whole time. So keep holding it straight up and down, and take your time. Like, this isn't something you're going to do really fast, and the more time you take and the more careful you are, the better it will look with your hand. I have a ring on, so that's kind of getting in my way a little bit. So practice tracing your hand and keep doing it. I don't know if you can see this one. It looks better. I'll have to look and see if you can see that or not, but practice tracing your hand. The key is holding your pencil straight up and down, and you could get someone to help you too. Maybe you could have a grown-up help you. So once you feel good about hand tracing, for sure practice this until you feel like your hand is looking good. Then you're gonna take your canvas board, because you only have one of these, and you're gonna put it down, and you're gonna put your hand on it, and you're gonna hold your pencil straight up and down, and you are going to trace your hand. I'm actually not going to trace my hand because my hand is too big for this. So you're gonna trace your hand, and then what you're gonna have is something that looks like, let me do this. I'm gonna fold this in half because this is a similar size. So you'll trace your hand really carefully onto the canvas, and then you will just have the pencil outline of your hand. That might kind of look like that. Can you see that? Then what you're gonna do is use your crayons. So I'm gonna pick one of these colors of crayons. I think I'm gonna do orange, and I'm gonna use my orange, and I'm gonna go over my pencil lines. And I might need to go over my pencil lines 3 times or 4 times. You wanna go over the lines, this will be on your canvas board, until you really can't see the pencil anymore. I actually made this pencil and this extra dark so that you could see it, but you could, when you're doing it on the board, do it really lightly just so you can see it, and then take your pencil and go over the lines and over the lines until it looks really good. Then you're gonna use crayons to fill in just the inside of your hand. This is all kinds of fun colors. You could make it one color. You can, this is sort of in a pattern, but not really. You could make it so you just keep outlining your hand, or you could color the inside any way you want. The really kind of important part of this is that you stay inside the lines. And I'm not a stay inside the lines kind of person, but for this, it's kind of important that you do. So you want to fill in your whole hand with crayon or colored, or with oil pastels. So you want to make it so this is completely covered with crayon or oil pastels. And then If you're going to give this maybe to a grandparent or to an aunt or an uncle, put your initial up there. So my daughter's name is Sarah, so her name begins with the letter S. So she put an S up here in the corner. And my name is Julie, so if I did this, I might put a J up in the corner. But if your hand is really small, you might have enough room to put your whole name. So maybe your name is Rob, and so you could write the whole, maybe you have a little hand, because maybe you're like, I don't know, 5. So you could do your hand and have a grown-up help you trace your hand, and you could write your name really carefully. And you want to also go over whatever you write with either crayon or oil pastels, because basically what you're trying to do is get wax on here. So, because then there's the next step. So what you're going to end up with is a canvas, and on it, it's going to be just this colorful hand, and there's going to be initial in the corner. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take watercolors, and you're going to pick out, a color or two that you really like. I would start with a light color first, and then you're going to take it and get water, and you're going to go over the whole canvas with the watercolors. So this has already been done on this. And what's going to happen is it will not stick to the part that has wax on it. So the part that has crayon or oil pastels on it, it won't stick on that, but it will fill in the rest. Or it will also find little spots where maybe the crayon didn't stick or the oil pastel didn't stick, and so it will fill in on the hand. So this is all one color, but you could use 3 colors if you wanted to. So the whole point of it is that you have this handprint with an initial, and you have filled that in with some kind of a waxy art supply, so crayons or oil pastels, and then you go over it with watercolor, and it kind of turns out with a cool effect. And then you have to let it dry completely, and then this would make a great gift. Like if you framed that, that would be super cute, and I bet you there is someone who loves you and who you love that would love to put this on their wall. So I hope you had fun doing this, and I hope you will join me for the next activity.